All right, so thank you God for giving me the opportunity to make this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have a interview coming up in a few days, okay, with Miss All Cherry, also known as Cherry Cheddars, and we need to make sure that you guys are all caught up because the interview is going to be discussing hopefully Marineford. Now, right now, this video is going to be about her at Sabaody Archipelago, right? So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this video into two, right? This video will be into two. Today it's a Wednesday. You guys will see it on a Wednesday, and you'll see another one on a Thursday. And then I'll see if I can release another one on a Friday. So today, this week, you guys will have like a bunch of videos, right? Friday will probably be an amalgamation of just everybody in general, right? And not just Miss All Cherry, right? And then on whenever we do the interview, I cannot spoil it. You guys will see the interview. So let's go ahead and get that started, all right? All right, unpausing now.
Does it stop getting worse?
Oh, like the sad stuff?
This, okay? I need to know.
1986.
When does it stop getting worse?
Also, what is this background? What is with this background music, man? It's kind of a little silly, don't you think?
And listen, okay, we went from like one of the most hilarious bits in the entire series with Duval.
Okay.
All right, let me. Oh my gosh. Okay, we gotta catch up. Okay, let's start at the beginning. So, the crew meets Cammy, and Cammy is really worried because she thinks that her friend Hachin got kidnapped. And Hachin, we remember, was part of Arlong's crew, and we followed his whole like cover story thing, and he has his little takoyaki business now. So she was like eaten by a sea monster, and then she was worried about Hachin, and then they find out that he was kidnapped because he thought that she had been taken. And the crew's not 100%, like they don't know that it's Hachin yet. So they agree that if they go rescue her friend, that A, they'll get fed takoyaki, and B, she'll tell them how to get to Fishman Island. So they go to the kidnapper's place to get Hachin back. This was genuinely one of the most hilarious and funny bits that I have read in the entire series. I was not expecting the like helmeted Duval to be a lookalike of Sanji's drawn wanted poster. It was so out of left field. I was not expecting it at all. I was howling, you guys. It was so funny. It was so funny. And then the fact that Sanji like changed his bone structure and he was all happy and he kept calling himself Mr. Handsome. It was so hilarious. I loved it. So the crew does find out that Hachin, it's that Hachin from Arlong's crew, and Nami is so quick to like forgive and be like, hey, it's all good, like it's no big deal, which I love her for that, and I just think that speaks so much to her character. I love that whole bit. They got fed their takoyaki, and then they find out that in order to get to the new world, there's only two ways that you can go. So you can go over the wall or like mountain, and
over Marie, the red line, over the red line
to do that. And obviously the Straw Hats are not going to get approval from the world government. So the second way is to go way down to the bottom and go through Fishman Island, and that's what they need to do. But obviously their ship won't be able to take that because they'd have to withstand all the pressure. So Cammy and Hachin say that they can go to the archipelago and get a specialist to coat their ship in like a special resin that will allow it to go down that.
Oh, that's an interesting job. All right.
So they go to the archipelago, and it's like made up of a ton of tiny small islands, and everything's cool and great and fun. But then we find out something really disturbing. We find out, you guys.
What?
We find out about the celestial dragons. I genuinely didn't think that it could.
Do they breathe fire?
Worse than Mr. Spam. I'm dreadfully wrong. I was dreadfully wrong. So we find out that the celestial dragons are the descendants of the 20 kings that came together 800 years ago to start up the world government and create the world government. And the celestial dragons are descended from them. And they are like so prideful and believe themselves so superior to humans that they don't even like to breathe the same air as like the commoners. And they are also avidly involved in human trading and selling, which I was not expecting that to be a thing in this manga. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be. You guys warned me it would get dark, but it genuinely, the bit where we meet the first dude and the girl runaway pirate with the collar is there, that was already disturbing enough. And then we meet the Carlos, like the son of the main guy, and like that whole interaction where he wanted the nurse to be like his 13th wife, and then like her fiance is like begging not to take her away. I genuinely was so thrown off and disturbed that I had to put the manga down and not touch it for like 3 days.
This is my life.
Yeah, it's really heavy stuff. It's really heavy stuff.
Also, the background sound is really throwing me off, by the way.
Floored. I'm taken aback. Like, the amount of emotional whiplash in this manga is just insane. So we did that. Found out that was a thing. I loved that Zoro, like, straight up didn't know about the celestial dragons, which he's lost, by the way. And I loved the joke of him getting lost. I think it's hysterical. And he's just, like, he just goes up drinking booze, and then he goes to attack Carlos. And another girl, I think her name was it Jewel? She tackled
Jewelry
Zoro
Bonnie?
because obviously they can't attack the celestial dragons, or they like unleash all of the navy there. Cammy gets kidnapped for real, and she's taken to an auction house. Where we also get to meet Silvers, who was vice captain to freaking Roger.
Silver Rayleigh.
I'm so excited. I hope we get some more like Roger.
So he was like the Zoro to Goldie Roger?
Apparently he's called the Dark King. Garp was talking about it because they found out that he was also up for auction. Garp is so funny. I love him. He's easily, next to like Kobe, my favorite like Navy individual. I think that he's so hysterical and like unserious. So he also said that he probably put himself up for auction to cover his gambling debts, which I think is hilarious. But he seems very powerful, so I'm very excited to see what kind of powers and abilities he has. But yeah, he is the one that coats the ship in the resin. So the crew is currently at the auction house. They're trying to rescue Cammy, and Nami is the one that's like, okay, well, if we can't go in fists blazing, then
bro, this background music, man. It's throwing me off.
We can buy her back with the treasure, which I love that it's Nami who has that idea because she loves the treasure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at. Just really intense stuff, and there's a lot of pirates here as well. Like, we meet, like, there's like all kinds, and they have high bounties. So I'm really curious to see. It's a lot of new characters introduced, so I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. And then, so we also find out that Ace is, we know that Ace is about to be executed, but it's just kind of now coming out and people are realizing it, and everyone's freaking out because if they publicly execute Ace, then Whitebeard's gonna declare war, and it's gonna be absolute chaos, which I kind of hope happens.
He can do that.
I'd love to see some Whitebeard versus Navy.
Wait, you want Ace to die?
Amazing, but no! I don't want Ace to be executed, so
okay,
maybe he can rescue him and also go to war. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But
she wants to see a war.
I'm trying to do like chunkier updates. I think I want to avoid spoilers. I'm trying to read.
I think chunkier
like,
updates
my
are better.
Trusted friends' comments.
She means me.
So please just behave. I love you all. I will keep reading, even though I'm scared and my tummy hurts. I hope you guys are ready for a good One Piece.
So this is part 1. What did we just watch then? What did we just watch? For 8 minutes, what did we just watch?
Update, because holy moly, there was so much packed in.
That was like the pilot
these
episode,
few
I
chapters
guess.
that I read. We got to sit down and talk about it. So we
I'm
left
sad.
off at like a really, really pinnacle point. So Kami was abducted, just a quick recap, and she was getting ready to be auctioned off. And right when the whole crew gets there, they are really banking that they'll use their treasure to win her back. However, I thought his name was Carlos, but I believe it's Charlos. Put up a $500 million bid, and the Straw Hats only had 200 million, I believe. He outbid everybody. So Luffy gets there, and he immediately is like, hey, there's Kami, let's go get her. And then so Hachi is trying to stop him because obviously they don't want to upset these celestial dragons. And in the process of Hachi trying to stop Luffy, they realize that he's a fishman. And as we can see, all of the prejudice and issues that people still have with fish people, he's immediately incredibly ostracized. And Charlos ends up hurting him really badly. And it's so intense of a moment because you see like Kami despairing, pounding on the glass. Everyone's completely, well, I should say the Straw Hats are completely horrified. And then Charlos is just sitting there dancing. He's completely happy with himself. No sense of shame, horror that one should feel in a situation like that. And Luffy has the face. You know what face I'm talking about. It is the best face in the entire
the angry
manga.
face?
When he gets that shadowed, serious, absolutely disdainful look, you just know that it is about to be incredibly satisfying. And when I tell you guys, I about screamed and jumped out of my seat when Luffy punched him. Oh my goodness. It is my new favorite Luffy punch. Hands down. Previously, it was his punch with Bellamy. This one blows it out of the water. It was so satisfying. I'm telling you, as much as Oda like cranks you up, he can really deliver and bring the satisfaction. These celestial dragons, quite literally, are immediately at the top of my most hated villains list. They're
like ever.
They are genuinely absolutely terrible.
Actually, so, that's a good point. Are the celestial dragons on the top of my most hated villains list ever? Okay, so this is a product of recency bias for me, right? I see the celestial dragons as average people. That's bad, right? That's really bad. I mean, like with the stuff that's going on currently in 2026, you know, Epstein's files, all of that stuff, with everything that's been going on, like none of it is shocking to me. I've known about this stuff. I was born and raised in a country where a lot of this stuff would happen all the time. Like the average person genuinely is very evil. So whenever I see stuff that's going on, and trust me, no, the average person really is evil. They just don't say it. You'd be surprised at how rare good people are. Good people are stupidly rare. But evil just goes around very often. The reason why a lot of people don't say or don't admit how evil they are is simply because of shame. Because of shame and repercussions. Obviously, a lot of rich people don't feel like they have to suffer the repercussions to a lot of things. But what I'm saying is, the reason why I never really saw the Celestial Dragons as, oh my gosh, you're just great big evil, is because they just feel like real life. They just feel like how everybody acts. There's not much of a difference. The only difference between them and everybody else is they don't pretend. You know, they don't pretend to say whatever helps the majority. They don't pretend to be influencers that pander to the bandwagon. They don't pretend any of this stuff. They just are the way they are because they don't have to suffer repercussions. Average people are very evil. We live in a very evil world, and this is just how people are. And I hope to one day change that. I don't know how, but I hope to one day change that. So I guess the reason why I never saw the Celestial Dragons as evil, they are evil. I just always saw them as, oh, okay, you're just like everybody else I know. You're just like everybody else I know. So, I just never really saw them as this big, great evil. I guess they are. They are this big, great evil. I just live in a world where big, great evils are everywhere, huh? Interesting. What is that? There's a word for it. It's not recency bias. There's a word for it. I get desensitized. Desensitized. That's the word.
Charlos has been completely humbled. Obviously, his father and sister are incredibly upset, and they immediately call for the Navy to be called and for an admiral to appear. So this big battle begins basically where a bunch of people are trying to flee because now they know that the Navy is coming, but also the Celestial Dragons and the auction house staff are all kind of fighting with each other. So there's honestly a ton of really funny moments in this, like when Usopp arrives and he falls and he lands directly on St. Rosewald. That was so funny, and the fact that Usopp doesn't know that, like, he has no idea who he just landed on. Zoro being completely confused on why they're at an auction house instead of the pirate ship. He has no idea what's going on, as usual, but he's just happy to fight. And then Silvers, right, joins the fight and wipes out the entire auction house. I'm so curious to see
how he do that,
what his devil fruit power is. It's really amazing because he was also able to remove Kami's collar without it exploding or detonating on her in any way. And it almost seems like he can remove like people's air or something like that, or suffocate them somehow, so that they all fall.
That's an interesting devil fruit power.
I don't know. Maybe his power is like being able to remove things quickly. I have no idea. But he's obviously very, very powerful.
Ooh, that sounds cool. Interesting.
And then
kind of like a vector.
Yet another giant. And I just find it really, really cool. And it's such good writing and world building on Oda's part that he keeps sprinkling in.
I mean, he is king of world building.
We get at least, I would say, one every arc to every other arc. And I'm really I can't wait to get to Elbaf because it just seems like there's so many little giant connections, no pun intended, to that place. And the Straw Hats have now 3, I think, connections to them, maybe 4. I think it's only 3. So I just really, really love that we are still getting these giants here and there.
Oh, like Elbaf? Okay,
so
that's what you mean.
Now that everything is going on, and Silvers also said that he was very excited to meet Luffy, and I was very excited that he knew who Luffy was. And then we cut to the auction house owner or runner, and he is calling Doflamingo. I didn't even catch the smiley faces that, that's like his thing.
Oh.
And Doflamingo
is in charge of this?
It's hilarious. He says that this kind of trading business is getting old and that the new age of pirates is basically upon them. He says that the auction house can belong to Disco now. He basically wants no part of it. Again, I just get a really good feeling whenever I have whenever we see any interaction with Doflamingo, it makes my stomach flip. There's something about a villain that just laughs so unhingedly that is just so nerve-wracking and disturbing. It's very much like Joker vibes, kind of. It's usually, to me, it is the ones that are unhinged like that tend to be the worst and most traumatizing. So I can't wait to get to that. So anyway, back to the battle. We see Kid, Luffy, and Law all battling the Navy, and I love how Kid basically rage baited Law and Luffy into fighting. And forgive me, I know that Law, his name is also Trafalgar, I believe, right? I just wrote down Kid. I totally forgot to write his other name down.
Trafalgar Water
So
Law.
it kind of showcases Kid and Law's devil fruit power, and theirs is really cool. So Kid essentially can reflect and send it back, which is really, really powerful. Obviously, it seems like he can either
he has reflection
like
powers.
if it's like
That's
magnetism, so he can either draw or repel things, which I find is very, very fascinating. And then Laws is crazy. He's like I think earlier they mentioned that he's like a surgeon because he literally can like take body parts from different people and rearrange them, which is really freaky, honestly. I love Law's character design, by the way. Something about the eye bags, his terrible, rude manners. I don't know. I really like him right off the bat, and his little like bear sidekick crewmate is very, very funny. I am curious though because they were also wearing Doflamingo's emblems, so I'm quite curious to see what's going to come from that. And then, so we also see at this point that Kuma has arrived. I was not prepared or expecting to run into him again so soon. I guess I should be. I shouldn't have been surprised because they're so close to the Navy headquarters. But listen, this dude is scary and unsettling. I was not prepared to see him again so soon. I can't stop yapping, and I still have more to cover, so I will make a part 2 and post that as well. So see you in part 2.
And yeah, that's where we're gonna end this one, guys. I wanted to like split this one up into 2 videos. I probably still will. I don't know how like I'm gonna like finish. I don't know. I have to figure out how I'm gonna split it into 2 videos. I probably will just make it 1 video because like it didn't really seem as long as I thought it would be. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace out. Stay classy. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video.